Welcome to day 9 of Healthy Holiday Cooking. Tonight I'm going to show you how to make a butternut squash soup. I'm going to use fresh ingredients, butternut squash. I'm going to use sweet potatoes to thicken the soup. The starch from the sweet potatoes will help thicken the soup so we don't have to add cream, so we can keep it very healthy. Carrots, onion, and then I also have fresh ginger and fresh garlic. Give it some extra flavor. You could also use dried ginger, but fresh ginger is really inexpensive and it's actually really easy to work with. All you're going to do is just use a vegetable peeler and peel off the barky part of ginger, just like that. And then you'll just take your knife and slice it. You can make tea with this. You could do a lot with fresh ginger. It's really nice. And for this recipe, we don't have to worry too much about chopping things up finely because we're going to cook everything together and then put it in the blender to make it smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and cook the butternut squash. All I've done is sliced it in half and scooped out the seeds. And I've got ½ inch of water in this microwave safe baking dish. This will take about 8 to 10 minutes in the microwave. Going to also cover it up with some plastic wrap. Looks like Wrigley wants to make a guest appearance, right? I'm going to put this in here for about 8 minutes. Over on the stove I have 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter melted in my pan that I'm going to use. And I'm going to go ahead and add 1 medium onion that's diced, and I have a tablespoon of fresh ginger that I have chopped up, and about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more of some chopped garlic, because I like garlic. Wrigley, get out of here. Come on. I'm just going to add everything right in. And just sort of let this cook down for a few minutes, saute. In the meantime, I'm going to finish scooping out the first squash that I used. I'm making a double batch of this soup for the week. And it's really easy once it comes out of the microwave. And there are several different ways you could prepare squash. You can put it in the oven. I'm using a quick and easy method in the microwave, save some time. And you're just going to scoop everything right out. And you don't have to make it really pretty or anything, so it's all going to go into the soup pan and cook together. I have 1 large sweet potato that I sliced and then I steamed also in the microwave. And this is 1 bag of shredded carrots. It's about 8 ounces. Let's go check on the onions and garlic. It's looking pretty good. It smells really good. And now we're just going to wait for the squash to come out of the microwave. Okay. I've just finished sauteing the onions and ginger and garlic, and I'm ready to add my vegetable stock, 32 ounces, and I have 2 containers of these. The butternut squash, I've scooped out the insides of 2 butternut squash, about 4 pounds altogether. 1 large sweet potato and my shredded carrots. Everything, we're just going to put everything right in the pot. And it's going to simmer for about 30 minutes covered. And after that, we're going to put everything in the blender, blend it up, and we'll be ready to eat soup. Just going to put everything in here. Sweet potatoes. And this is all going to cook down, believe it or not. Add the stock. also going to be adding in a little bit of pumpkin pie spice, a little bit of extra flavor. You could also just use a little bit of cinnamon. It's going to be about 1/4 of a teaspoon. Okay. And one more container of vegetable stock. You can go ahead and turn your burner up to high so that everything comes to a boil. And then once it does, you're going to reduce the heat and simmer it for about 30 minutes. And we are good to go. So I'm going to let this boil and cover it up and simmer for 30 minutes. Okay, our soup has been simmering for about 30 minutes and I've removed it from the stove, let it cool down, settle down just a little bit before we start blending it so we can make it smooth. So here is our product here. We're getting ready to blend this. Everything is all combined together and cooked down. It's a beautiful golden color. It smells wonderful in this kitchen right now. So to blend things up, you can do it a couple different ways. You could use a food processor or you can just use a blender. I actually prefer the blender method for this soup because you're just going to add things in there. Once we blend it up, it's going to be really easy to pour right back out of the blender into another pot on the stove so that your soup will stay warm while you're blending it. You kind of have to work in batches with this. You're going to add about 2 to 3 cups of soup to the blender at a time. So you can just use your measuring cup and add it straight in there. You want to be pretty careful when you're adding soup, anything that's warm, to a blender. So even though I've let this stay off of the stove for about 10 minutes and cool down just a little bit, it's still very hot in there and that steam can build up in here. So you want to put your lid on and don't force it all the way shut and put a towel on top and then start on the very lowest speed and then you're just going to let it puree together and get nice and smooth. Some people like a few chunks in their soup and that's fine too. I like mine to be pretty smooth. And then you can turn it up just a little bit at a time and just blend it together. And when it's reached the consistency that you like, you're going to take it off the bottom there and we're going to add it to our pot that's on the stove. You're just going to pour it straight in there and keep this pot on low heat just to keep the soup warm. Stir that up and we'll do one more batch of soup over here. I'm just going to add about 2 cups at a time. Have all those potatoes and carrots in here. It smells really good. And it's really a nice thick creamy consistency, so we don't need any milk or cream at all in here, and that'll save us a lot of calories, fat grams. And start on the lowest setting. Turn it up a little bit at a time. And just add it to our pot on the stove. You can see what a beautiful color this is. And I'm going to get a serving bowl so you can really see how beautiful this soup is. And it's very, very healthy. We had a lot of orange vegetables going in here, so it's really high in beta-carotene and vitamin C. Lots of vitamins and minerals in here. So here is our finished product. You would never know that this is not a cream-based soup. It is very thick and creamy. Smells delicious and tastes even better.